Hello, it's Mike Richards here from the Treasury Recruitment Company. I hope you're enjoying the Treasury Career Corner. If you are, great news. Perhaps you give us a rating on iTunes or wherever you consume your podcast content. This means that even more Treasury professionals can benefit from finding out about how treasurers have achieved their career goals. The link to rate our show we'll list at the bottom of our show notes. And please remember as well, the show itself is as much about you as it is about us. If there are specific questions you want us to ask or there's feedback you want to give, please drop me an email. My direct email is mike@treasuryrecruitment.com, inventively enough. But anyway, that's enough from me. Let's get on with the show. In this episode of the Treasury Career Corner, I asked Treasury professionals what do they see as the future for Treasury and what internal developments are they facing, such as automation, AI, and maybe external challenges such as Brexit. I hope you enjoy it. Andreas Weindel, the ex-group treasurer, Haribo Holdings.
I think what we call digitalization or straight-through processing has started already 10 years ago in Treasury. I mean, starting with like automatic gathering of account statements and then booking it through, or 360T with the platform for FX trading, and the whole process of confirmation matching, and then also booking. This has started quite a while ago, and so I think this kind of more technical processing of things will further continue.
Yep.
But the treasurer will have a certainly different role. We heard yesterday in the conference a lot about managing the uncertainty. So thinking in scenarios is, I think, the treasurer's task for the future. So maybe there's going to be a shift towards being maybe the risk manager.
Yeah.
And secondly, also I see the treasurer's role as a connector, as a communicator in the internal world through the functions, because you need to be involved, whether you're a cash-rich company or a company which has financing needs. Yeah. And you communicate also with the external world. And this is something about the function which is more or less unique.
Andrew Bishop, Head of Treasury Operations, Gazprom Marketing and Trading.
Well, I think it's obviously we've got a lot of challenges ahead, right? So some of them geopolitical, some of them are the threats of technology. I still fundamentally think that Treasury and what I would call judgment in Treasury will always be there. And I think a lot of these things like RPA, how machines can help us sort of automate and do a lot of the stuff that we don't particularly want to do, that's always been there in terms of like automation. Yeah. So even in my, sort of like 14, 15 years working in the Treasury area, we've always tried to automate things, but ultimately decision-making, strategy and gut instinct, I think that will always be there in Treasury. Now, whether or not, the number of people that are managing Treasury remains the same or not is a different question, but I just think the focus should be on the value add, and that comes from like experience, and all the nuts and bolts and the operations, that will all just get automated.
Annemarie Moore, Director of Treasury Services, Plan International.
I think we're going to be obviously automating a lot. I mean, we've automated a lot more this year. We did last year. We're going to next year. But we are going to have to focus a lot on the regulatory environment, and problem solving won't go away. We've got different problems, but they won't go away. So it's problem solving.
Damian Glendinning, ex-treasurer, Lenovo.
I see lots of challenges. If you're not careful, I'll be talking for the next 5 hours about it. But
so much time.
Really, I think the two biggest challenges, though, if I had to put them in order, is firstly all of the stuff around Brexit and the tariff wars that the United States is setting off. Because when you take a look, all the progress that we've made in Treasury over the past few years has been centralization, standardization. That's based on the cross-border movement of goods, people, money. the minute you start playing with that, you start going backwards, back to the kind of structure that we had when I first joined finance a very long time ago. And I think that's going to be a huge challenge. The other thing I think is I think we're on the verge of a major change in the banking industry because I think when you take a look at the combination of fintech together with all the regulations, the three pillars of banking, which are borrowing money and lending it, FX, and payment processing, these are all things that other people can do better and cheaper, and where the regulators are making it very hard for the banks to actually do it. So I think as you move forward, we could see a massive change in the landscape where a lot of things that we've traditionally done with banks will be done with other providers.
Yeah, and open banking coming in as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to lead to a huge change in how treasurers work.
I hope you're enjoying this week's show. I just wanted to interrupt briefly to invite you to be part of what we know to be the best global Treasury salary survey in the world. They're bold words, I know, but it's true. We're just approaching the 500 participant mark, so it's a survey of real value, but we still need your help. All you need to do to take part is visit treasurysalary.com. It takes about 2 minutes of your time from start to finish. And as a reward for taking part, you receive a free copy of our 200-page Global Treasury Salary Survey. It's a real practical use to you. Whether you're a Treasury analyst in Chicago or a global treasurer in London, we give you the numbers you need. In the simplest terms, our survey helps you as a Treasury professional understand what you should be paid. We benchmark your Treasury compensation in relation to your peers, both locally and globally. So when you are next asking your boss for that long overdue pay rise, and you know you deserve one, well, you have the practical facts you need. Just visit treasurysalary.com, and I look forward to sending you the next copy of the survey. That's enough from me. Let's get back to the show. Marianna Polykrati, Group Treasurer, Chipita SA.
I think that a lot of things are going to be automated at the end of the day.
Right.
But still, the treasurer, the function of the treasurer as a supervisor will still be needed. Even if you automate everything, you'll be able to see. As I said, it's a problem solver. A machine for me cannot solve at the time being all the problems and the issues that come. Yeah.
Oliver Eiss, Group Treasurer, Johnson Matthey PLC.
I think technological disruption will play a big role. I think all the buzzwords around blockchain, fintech, payment systems, the challenge, I think, for credit cards going forward being replaced with other technology. I think those things we'll see happening over the next few years, and obviously more automation and potentially the use of robotics for the more transactional, repeatable processes. But I still think there will be a need for the more strategic part of Treasury and a certain skill set. So I don't think our jobs will be replaced by robots after all. So I think there's still a future for Treasury.
Yeah. Rasmus Kamborda Melvang, Treasury Manager, Thomas Cook Airlines, Scandinavia AS.
I think that the main challenge for Treasury in a broader context, not just only for the company I work, is to be in front of in the things that we can contribute with for a company, which is control of cash, capital structure and funding, making sure that the business is supported financially with the things that we do. And not so much worry about commercial or political factors, because we cannot influence that. We can align the Treasury things we do with the strategy that the board of directors and management tell us to do, and then we can shout out if we see that they do something that isn't supported in the capital structure.
Yeah.
So all these discussion about what the Brexit will mean and commercial uncertainty in different industries, that's external factors for me.
That you can't control.
I can't control it. So it's pretty much out of my hands. I just, go with the flow. But what I do control is that we take the right technology in. We listen to what the fintech industry has to offer. We look at the bank structure and how they finance us. We look at our financial cost structure. We look at how we use our cash flows. Can we become better? Can we improve working capital? These kind of things. Those are important for me.
Sam Pitt, ex-group treasurer, Network Rail.
I think there's so much technology out there. We get bombarded as treasurers. You've got to buy this product, you've got to buy that product. And we probably all know we need to do more automation. I think at Network Rail, we had a large shared service function and have been, that's quite automated and started using robots. But I think in the core Treasury team, we still use too many Excel spreadsheets and probably need to automate. But it's finding the time and the resources to dedicate to it, because it's a distraction from the day job.